I did not like him at all. I love him now. Like, he one of the comedians is probably popular amongst other comedians that's in the circuit, but maybe not to the masses. I just turned into me just being annoyed. I literally could not breathe. I was laughing so hard. I just was not feeling it at all. No, I did not like that. He ain't changed or altered who he is either. I think him and Kat are similar in that way. He's probably my favorite non-black comedian. I think that was the first stand-up of his that I watched. Maybe that was not a good idea. Yeah, he used to be funny back then. Funny. Well, he's still funny, but he really funny back in the day. Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about, I think I'm just going to do like random comedians. Like I'm just going to name random comedians and talk about them briefly. We're going to first start with Patrice O'Neal, which I feel like a lot of current comedians, you know, was looking at his blueprint. I remember me first being introduced to Patrice O'Neal from one of my older family members, and they was like, hey, look at this. This guy, he really funny. Then I looked at him, he was like hilarious. I think it was probably like a stand-up on Comedy Central. And then I know he had a show like Before Ridiculousness. It was his show and it was really good, where he talked about like clips on the internet. So he was way before his time on that.
What the hell you have to break to make a noise like that? Now, the funny thing is not that she fell. The funny thing is when they go back to the newscast and listen to these people try to pretend they care.
Oh, no. Oh,
boy,
dear.
I think she's actually hurt.
No, I think she is.
Yeah, she's hurt. She took a hard fall off there.
Okay.
Boy, gosh, I hope she's okay.
The elephant in the room is really funny. He wanted the comedians just say, you know, anything. He was really funny. Like, I feel like he would in the past, he really been one of the top comedians today. George Carlin. Growing up, I never heard of George Carlin. That wasn't in my child. I was watching Comic View, so that wasn't, I didn't know nothing about George Carlin. So until I start, you know, hearing people talk about him and, you know, looking at little clips here and there, and he actually, you know, really is funny. I feel like he like pushed the needle in the envelope. And I was on Tubi, and, you know, I watch a lot of stand-ups, so it was like, I was looking and it was like a whole bunch of his stand-ups. I don't know how many stand-ups he got, but I seen his name a whole bunch of times. I didn't click on none, so I haven't watched the full stand-up, but I have watched clips. I'm going to watch it eventually, but I'll watch, and when I do, I'll do a whole review on one of them. But he was actually pretty funny. Like, he actually made me laugh. You know, I was a little skeptical. I'm like, I don't know, with these older comedians, I feel like you had to be there with some of these older comedians. Like with Richard Pryor, I seen some Richard Pryor clips, and I didn't really love it. But I'm like, because that wasn't my time. I feel like Eddie Murphy was the main comedian that I, you know, grew up on. But I feel like, you know, comedians that's older, they say Richard Pryor. But I looked at some of the clips. Mind you, I haven't seen the full thing, but some of the clips, and like I didn't love it. And I feel like most of his audience was like white, so I don't know. But I feel like maybe, yeah, I feel like he pushed the envelope too, and probably, you know, said stuff that it was like, oh, we can say this, oh, we can say this, and he was like letting it be known that you can say this and still have, I guess, a diverse crowd. But yeah, so yeah, George Carlin, he surprised me with, you know, it actually made me laugh. So I was like, okay, interesting. And I don't feel like he's a storytelling comedian. From the clips I've seen, it seems like he's like a world view comedian. Like, he talks about the world, you know, from his view in like a comedic way, which I don't normally really love that, but the clips I've seen, he has done it well. So there's that. There's another comedian. I don't know why I'm doing comedians that passed, but I guess I'll start with comedians that have passed. We're gonna go with Tyler Craig. He was on, I just mentioned Comic View. He was on Comic View a lot. He's the one that be like joke number 7 or joke number
1. Then when you're drunk, you gotta count them motherfuckers. It was the dude, right? He walking to the barber shop. The barber said, sit down, how you want your hair? He said, look, at the top, I want you to cut it to the front with the waves. On the side, I want you to chop this shit up all different sizes and length till you get right here. On this side, just scrape that shit off. Don't even blend it, just scrape it off. And if you got a chance, lift my hairline up to right here. The barber said, God damn, shawty, why the hell you want your hair like that? He said, hell, you cut it like that last time. Now the moral of this story is beat his ass.
Like, I feel like when you're a comedian, when you have something like that, like how Deon Cole has, where he looks at the book and checks the jokes off, I feel like when you have something like that, it's gonna forever be iconic, and immediately that's how somebody gonna know you, and that's how you want to say who it is and remind somebody who it is. That's how you do it. But I'll talk about Deon Cole later. But Tyler Craig, growing up on him, I just remember him from Comedy View, and he was just so funny to me. Just having me cracking up, like literally cracking up. Like, y'all can, go on to YouTube and see the clips. I might see if I can insert a clip of his in here somewhere. I don't know, y'all. I hope it don't get copyrighted, y'all, but I'll see if I can do it. But Tyler Craig, I feel like he one of them comedians. I feel like when he one of the comedians that's probably popular amongst other comedians that's in the circuit, but maybe not to the masses, because I don't think he really got commercial. So it's like, but the people who know like he is really funny. I feel like comedians like that, they don't get mainstream, like K-Dub and stuff like that. Like the comedians know, or people who are fan of comedy know, but like the masses don't know. But they were able to maintain their funny from beginning to the end, whatever that may be. But yeah, I feel like people don't know about him. You probably should go look at his stuff. Like, he is really funny. He got some stuff, I think, on Tubi too. Maybe not like no hour, but like a compilation of stuff with other comedians. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube to look at. If you don't know about these people, you can just click on a little clip here or there. Sometimes I like to click on like an older clip of the person, like more recent. Then I feel like the longer people do it, it don't be as funny. So then you have to go back to like how they started off, because you want to see like them in their prime. David Arnold. I don't know if I knew about him as a comedian first, or it was this show he used to have. What was it called? I don't think it was called Man Cave or something newer. It was like Man Censor. I don't know. I'm gonna put in what it was called. I cannot remember what it was called. It was like a group of men. They would sit down and talk. And I think they kind of like rebooted later. I think it was Man Cave, which wasn't as good, but it was something back in the day. I think it was on TV One. It was so good. I used to love that show. It was like a group of 4 men, maybe including him, maybe 5, and they would just talk about stuff. That show was so good to me. I don't know what happened.
Let me tell y'all this story. Let me tell you about this. Me growing up, I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio. Right. My grandmother, I told y'all my grandmother's white, my grandfather's black. And I remember the first time I brought a white girl home. Oof. My grandmother told me, it ain't room for one white woman in this house. It was a quota. It was one. Yeah. Actually, it was, I'm joking in a way.
That show was really good. And I know, before he passed, he had a lot of, he had his hand in like a lot of shows and stuff. So I know he put out a stand-up too, which, he was talking about his life. And, all that. I think, he worked with Kevin Hart. I don't know if he wrote for Kevin Hart, because, sometimes when you write for people, you can kind of give them your tone, which I don't know if that happened. I'm saying you can write for people and give them your tone. So I feel like when you're a writer, it's kind of hard unless you just really know that other person's tone or something. You can kind of sometimes give people your tone or your movements and all of that. You can give people your sauce, and then when you do the thing, people think you're doing them, but you really gave them, your thing. But from the, the people that passed, which they're really funny, you still go check them out. Like, their comedy is going to, live on forever. Let's talk about Deon Cole, since I was just talking about Deon Cole. Deon Cole have this stand up on Tubi. I think it's like Live at the Laugh Factory. I don't know if it's I don't think it's the title. I think it's just like Live at the Laugh Factory. So maybe it's the title, I'll try to put it in. But it was like a part where I literally could not breathe. I was laughing so hard. I'll see if I can put it in. I don't want to be flat, but see if I put the little clip in of it.
We get the beats, we start eating them, high and shit. I start thinking, damn, my mama ain't cooked that. She gonna see she was on this piece, So I go in her room, knock on the door and shit. I'm like, hey, what's up, mommy? How you doing? I'm just laughing at something fellas was saying in the room. I ain't want to disturb y'all from praying and reading the Bible. I just came here to see if y'all wanted a piece of pussy. Mama, the devil's been taking over my soul.
I was literally laughing so hard I could not breathe. Like, I thought I was gonna stop breathing. I was laughing so hard. it was so funny. Like, it was like this little stint where I was just really laughing, like a little 15 or whatever minutes in, 25 minutes. I was like really laughing really hard. I was like, I don't know why I was laughing so hard.
You ever see something in your closet you ain't worn in a while? You be like, I ain't wore that in a minute. Then when you put it on, you realize why you ain't been wearing that shit. That's how I feel about these pants. I'm lazy though. I get out of my last outfit before I wash anything. You see me in the club with a tuxedo on, just chilling. Like, where you coming from? I be like, home.
Child, Deon used to be looking so raggedy and dusty. Like, I don't know how he looked better now than he did back in the day. I don't know how these comedians doing him, Marley, Hughley. I'm gonna talk about Hughley in a minute. I don't know how they looking better now than they did back in the day. It's actually crazy. But Deon Cole, like I said, he one of the people that got, you know, the famous thing where you check the jokes off, which he been doing for a while, and which is really funny.
I wrote some jokes down, see if they work or not. Hopefully they work, and if they do, cool. If they don't, then I'll never see y'all ever again.
His stand-up, his last stand-up, it's called Charlene's Baby. I know it's about his mother. It is really good. It is really, really good to me. Like, it's one of my favorites as far as like stand-up that has been put out in like the past 5 years. Like, it was really good to me, like how he did that. And then, you know, dealing with grief and how he was able to do that so well. Yeah, he really did that. Like, it was. I watched it whenever it came out, which was a minute ago. So I can't remember every detail, but I remember thinking like, wow, this is really good and really funny. Like, I'm like, he did that. To be consistent for that long is you doing it. Like Eddie Griffin is another one that's been consistent. We're gonna talk about him too, child. Hopefully I don't forget. But yeah, he is one of them that's really, really consistent. Deon Hughley, when I was younger back in the day, I did not like Deon Hughley. I could not stand Deon Hughley when I was a kid. I did not like him at all. I love him now. Like, love Deon Hughley now. But I was like, when he was on Keys and Comedy, I was like, oh, child, why is he on Keys and Comedy? Like, I did not like him because I feel like when he used to be on Comedy View, he used to just come out and just talk about the crowd. Like, he didn't have a set prepared or nothing. He used to come out and talk about the crowd.
Look at the girl next to her, all that red. Girl, look like a pack of Kool-Aid, don't you? Hey, Kool-Aid! How you doing, bro? Listen, the members only coat on. You got the big way in the back of the car before coat that over there. You probably came with an 8-track tape, huh? And look at the girl next to all that damn hair. Got a finger weave, a present curl, and a perm, huh? Who's the brother with the blonde hair? Ain't that up? Like somebody whipped your ass with a bottle of peroxide, huh?
Crowd work is fine, but when that's all you're doing, that's annoying. And every time that's all he would do, and it would annoy me. I'm like, dang, all he do is get on stage and talk about the audience. He don't even have nothing prepared. I feel like when you are like a good comedian, like, you maybe can't tend to get lazy and just to be like, okay, I ain't gonna have nothing prepared. I'm just gonna go out and talk to the crowd. And it's like, yeah, you can do that here and there and sometimes, but when you're doing that repeatedly, it's like, come on now. You can't just be, people are paying to see you and paying for something that you actually have thought of. You just coming out and talking about the crowd and roasting the crowd. Like, no, that used to make me so mad. I obviously don't think he does that anymore. Actually, he doesn't do that anymore. I'm saying he probably do crowd work here and there, but he don't do what he used to do. That used to annoy me so bad. It used to get on my nerves. But yeah, I really like him to take some stuff in his opinion, like strongly his opinion. He one of the ones just looking better. Maybe because I didn't like him back in the day, but looking better now than he did as he, aged. But black men, they're doing it. But Eddie Griffin is one of the ones like Cat Williams, where he has a lot of stand-up. I don't know how many he has a lot out, and none of them are bad. Like Eddie Griffin, yeah, Eddie Griffin is funny. Then he got, what's that movie he got with that dude that people say look like Solange? Dang, what is that movie called? I'm gonna put that in there because I don't know why I can't think of that right now. But that movie is so good to me, it's so funny to me. And of course, Undercover Brother, that movie is funny too. But yeah, all his stand-ups that I've seen, he got so many, like I said, he has so many that you kind of just get lost because it's a cat. It's so many of them. I don't know if it's 12, but it's like so many of them. And I was watching Gary on podcast, and he said he had that many, like as many as Cat Williams. I know I've seen some. I was like, he got that many? Like, I was actually shocked about that. But, yeah, Eddie Griffin is one of the ones too. Like, he's in my top 10 for sure. Like, favorite comedians. Like, he he has been doing it. And I feel like people don't talk about him enough. I don't know why. And he had some show. I feel like it was Charlie Murphy in it. And then George Lopez. I can't remember what the show was. I feel like he was on BET. That was a good show. I can't remember if it was scripted or what, but that was a good show. But yeah, he one of the ones. People don't talk about him enough. But he is, yeah. And he has been, I feel like, standing in what he wants to do. He ain't got commercial. He ain't got, which ain't nothing wrong with commercial. I'm saying he ain't changed or altered who he is either. I think him and Cap similar in that way, which I really like that. Aziz Ansari has probably like 4 or 5. I don't know, child. All his stems are good too. Like I remember, he seemed like he randomly popped up. I feel like he was hosting a BET Awards on I said BET, child. He wouldn't be hosting BET Awards. He hosted MTV Awards one year, and he just popped up. That was the first time I seen him. I don't know how these people be just popping up. Russell Brand just was hosting one year. I don't know. I don't watch the awards anymore, but back in the day I did. He's one of them other ones just were, really good. And then obviously his show, Master of None, really, really amazing. I didn't watch the last season because obviously it wasn't him in it, but Master of None is really good. All his stand-ups are so good. Like I remember his first stand-up, and you wouldn't think like when you're like him and you're able to get people in your culture and get people to understand. I feel like Joe Coy missed the mark with that from his last one. I wasn't planning on talking about him, but I'll talk about that. Aziz Ansari has been consistently funny. Like all his stand-ups are funny. Like his tone, he one of the people too. His tone is really funny. So he say something and it is funny. Even like his last thing, it was kind of like a more intimate moment. I even like that too. And then the one before that where he was like had people raise their hands and show how people are really hypocrites and all this other stuff like that. That was really good too. Like he one of the ones to me that's really, really, really good. And he's probably Gary one, but he's probably my favorite non-black comedian. Him, Gary one, probably my favorite non-black comedians. I really like. Yeah, I really like Aziz Ansari. He's like one of my tops, just overall creatively and everything. Deray, I have always loved Deray. Deray as a comedian, I have always loved him. He was so inappropriate. My favorite joke of his when he was talking about he leave the numbers around for his girlfriend.
Woman found another woman's phone number and it's like gold. Y'all pull the motherfucker up to the light. Y'all call the other bitch. She don't want to talk to you. This is why I tell my man, fuck your woman up. Make her feel stupid for going through your shit. Make her feel fucked up. I just leave a number on the dresser. She dial a motherfucker be me. Bitch, you going through my shit?
That whole joke is just so funny to me. Like D-Ray is one of the ones too. Like that's really good. He a really good host too. And I recently saw him in a movie. He did so good. It's like that role was made for him. I don't remember the movie. It was a movie on BET recently where he was playing the lead's cousin. He really did good in that. I'm like, it made me want to see him more in movies. He always been in movies, but I want to see him as like the lead in a movie, like because he did that role really good. Like yeah, D-Ray is one of them ones. I feel like he got probably like a personality that people might not like or extremely like, but I have always liked D-Ray. I don't know what it is. I've always liked him since I was younger. It's like he used to have me cracking up. Like he one of the ones that say inappropriate stuff, but it's just how he do it is just so funny. As a host, he's great as a host. Like when he was hosting Hollywood Squares, he's a really good host. He hosted something else before that, a couple things before that, but I can't remember the name of them, but I used to watch them. They used to be good. Mike Epps, people always talk. Mike Epps is one of the ones that I feel like he is so charismatic and he has a funny tone too, so he just be being lazy. I feel like he could be funnier. The main joke that I know of Mike Epps where he like, remember the man that used to be on commercial, man, you ain't doing it with yourself, get up, you ain't doing that, man, get up, shut up, I am doing something. Like that is my favorite joke of his, but I feel like that, I don't want to say basic, but it's not like a basic joke, but that was my favorite joke of his.
Don't you hate that guy on that college commercial, that Everest college commercial? Get up, come on, what you doing? You ain't doing that with yourself. Come on, look at you, look like a bum just sitting there. You ain't doing nothing, do something with yourself, come on down to college. Man, you ugly as hell. Man, come on, man. Look at you, ain't got no job, you ain't doing nothing with yourself. Come on, get a college degree. You be like, shut the fuck up, nigga. I'm doing something with myself.
I don't know, I feel like he can do more. Like I haven't watched one of his stand-ups in a while. Because I don't really love from a stand-up. I feel like I just feel like he can do better. I feel like he don't. I know people always like, I love Mike Epps. So I think they like Mike Epps as a person. They like him in movies. But stand-up wise, like, you know, he's a good comedian because how he carried Next Friday, especially people probably wanted to go in and not like him because Chris Tucker wasn't there no more, but he really carried it and carried it well. But I feel like he could do so much better. But I feel like when you're so charismatic and stuff, then you just be kind of lazy when you get on stage and you kind of just interact with the crowd, or you kind of just do whatever. It's like you don't really have no script. You kind of just go out and do whatever. You don't really have nothing written out. You just kind of, which I don't know if he writes, but I'm saying he just kind of get that feel like he just go out and just do whatever, and not in the best way. Some people can have to get that feel that it's just so natural, but then, you know, it'd be good. But overall, like Michael, but as far as his stand-up, he wouldn't be like one of my favorite as far as stand-ups. Oh, Joe Cole. I want to talk about Joe Cole. I didn't watch the whole awards thing, so I don't know nothing about that. But Joe Cole, the last stand-up he watched where he was, well, I don't know if that was his last stand-up. He might put on one after that, but it's the one where he was talking about COVID. You know, talking about, you know, his Asian mother. First of all, I know COVID was happening, but he should not have did stand up talking about COVID, because when people look back on it and they didn't experience COVID, or it's like 10 years, 20 years down the line, people are like, what is this? You want your stand up to go on through time and pass through time. Don't just focus on something in the moment. Like, Marlon did that with a slap, but how he told the story, he story told it in a way. But you just talking about Corona, it's like, it's not really groundbreaking. When you look back on it, it's not going to be entertaining to watch a show. It wasn't entertaining to watch during it. So, because I think he let it out after, you know, everything had settled. But yeah, it wasn't good. And I think that was the first stand-up of his that I watched. Maybe that was not a good idea. Maybe I should have went back and watched some other ones that made me not want to. And then he was talking about, you know, his Asian mother and stuff. But I was kind of lost. Like, I feel like Aziz Ansari is good. Some comedians are, is good at, you know, if you're not of that culture, they're good at making you understand it. I feel like I was just kind of lost. Maybe other people wasn't, but I was just kind of lost with what he was talking about the thing with the bathroom. I was lost. Maybe other people weren't lost. Maybe I just wasn't getting it, child. Maybe I was just focused on Corona thing. I didn't like it, so I just wasn't understanding. I feel like he wasn't making me understand. Yeah. Yo, child, I wasn't talking about Chelsea Handler. Her show used to be so good and so funny. Like, stand-up, I think I've seen the stand-up she has on Netflix. Was she talking about Africa or something? I don't know, but I mean, stand-up wise, I mean, I like Chelsea, but she ain't somebody I would click on first. I'll click on, you know, Monique, Unel, stuff like that first. I watched Ellie's stand-up special. I didn't know nothing about her from back in the day. I didn't, you know, watch her nothing, but all she was doing was talking about her being rich, and it was literally so boring. I was like, oh, well, did she used to be funny back in the day? Because this ain't funny. But maybe she was probably funny back in the day, but it just was not good. It's just how, when you get to a certain level, it's like, don't do no stand-up, because you ain't relating with nobody. Nobody do not care about this. I really did not care whenever she was talking about child. No, I just didn't care. It was like rich people problems. But she could have made it funny, but it just wasn't. I mean, you could have, you know, be like, oh, I used to have this and this and this, and kind of try to combine it and bridge the gap. But it just was like, child, you could have kept this. I didn't need this. Oh, I want to talk about Lil Rel. Lil Rel, I think it was his last one. I think I've seen all of his stand-ups too, but I think his last, Lil Rel just has a funny tone. Remember, was he on a competition show back in the day or something? I can't remember where I feel like he was on a competition show where he was talking about the girl and they would push each other's glasses up. He wants somebody with glasses so they can push each other's glasses up. That.
Blind dimes. That's what I said. You heard it. Y'all know that's what I love. Ain't nothing like having a female with glasses, and we go just push each other's glasses up the whole day. You are so sexy. You are so sexy. I knew you was nearsighted when I first saw you. Do this some more. Oh my God. Why did you do this again? This is my spot. Let's go to Lens Crafters. Let's go to.
Yeah, he used to be funny back in funny. Well, he's still funny, but he really funny back in the day. I think I was introduced to him on a show, like a comedy show. I mean, like a comedy competition show. I think, don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it was.
Who got jokes? I'm here.
His last stand-up, if it ain't his last one, it's the one that's on HBO Max. And it started out really slow, but like towards the mid-end, for some reason, I was cracking up. I can't remember what joke it was, but I was literally cracking up. And that made me think like, oh, it was good, because I was cracking up. If you laugh at least 1 or 2 times, Especially if you laugh one time hard, like where you crying laughing, then it's like, okay, well, this is good. Then one that he did where he was in the, I don't know if he was at home in a gym or something. That one was really kind of good. That one was great. I don't know. It was just very awkward. I feel like you shouldn't do stuff like that unless you just really, I'm talking about really funny. Because that intimate crowd can be to your detriment or to your downfall, and it was definitely to the downfall because it just felt so awkward, and I feel like it just felt awkward and weird, and I feel like people wasn't laughing. Maybe they was, but maybe the mics wasn't picking it up. It was just kind of strange. But the one that he had on HBO Max, I was actually, like I said, it wasn't good at first. Like, he had a funny tone, so it's gonna be entertaining to watch, but towards the meeting, and when he in movies playing a serious role, I just be laughing. It's like Kevin Hart, he trying to play serious, but it's just you gonna laugh because they tone, but they trying to be serious. But Tracy Morgan used to have this show back in, what's it called? Tracy Morgan show, child? What was it called? Yeah, he had a show too, but Tracy Morgan had a show back in the day where he had the two boys. I think that was him, the two boys. One of the little boys was one of the boys that's on Wild Now. Child, don't quote me on that, Bobby or something, child. Don't quote me on it. But there used to be a good show with Tama, the Smokey baby mama. I guess that really wasn't his baby because she wasn't in the third one, child. She was just so pretty to me. I used to just love her as her acting, but her like Booty Call and all these shows, like she used to just be so good. She was just so cute. But what was I about? Oh, Tracy Morgan, because she was his wife. That, I think, child, I hope I'm not confusing these shows. I think that's the one I'm talking about. Tracy Morgan's, obviously his show is really good. I stopped watching because I stopped watching, I think, after Tiffany left. Not because Tiffany left, but I just think, yeah, I stopped watching Atlanta too. Because, Atlanta, this one nothing to do with that. But Atlanta, that's the only show that switches. The first season ain't nothing like the second season. It's like two complete different shows. I don't like I said, I don't watch the other season after. I'm just too far behind. I might catch up, I might not, but whatever. But they are just literally so different. They literally took two completely different shows. I ain't never seen a show switch up that drastically. That was actually crazy. But what was I talking about? Oh, Tracy Morgan. Tracy Morgan's show. What's it called? I think of what his current show is called, not his old show. I can't think what it's called either. I think it was maybe called the Tracy Morgan Show. All these shows was called the Bernie Mac Show. They was after the show, whatever. But Tracy Morgan last stand-up, it wasn't bad, actually. Yeah, it wasn't bad. I know, he probably got a little messed up, with the accident. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad either. It ain't like nothing really to be like come down on, or nothing to be like, oh yeah, he did that. It was cool. Yes, he rich. He living his life. He like, let me just do a stand-up. Let me do it. It gave that. It's like, yeah, I can do whatever. I'm rich. I'm gonna get on stage, live great, talk about this little 1 2 1 2, and then get off stage and yada yada yada, child. Like, him and his bro man. I said bro man, child. I am so slow. Him and his hustle man. Is obviously, I done it. Pick up the pieces. Pick up the pieces. Dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. Pick up the pieces. Pick up the pieces. But no, for real. Yeah, Tracy, it's cool. Like, I don't really know much about Tracy stand-up wise, but yeah, the last one was cool. Like, we put out another one, I watched it. It wasn't so bad. I'm like, I would never watch this ever again, but it was cool. Like, I'll watch it again if it was out. My favorite comedian is Arnez J, because I grew up watching my host, comedy, so he's my favorite comedian. And then, he got the famous, talking about his brother, his special needs brother, Rodney, like, that's his famous. I think that's what he is mainly known for, but, yeah. He is really great. He always really makes me nice. He's a great storytelling comedian. I feel like people don't talk about him enough, but, like, he's one of my favorites. Ooh, Lavell Crawford. Lavell Crawford has this joke. I cannot find it for nothing. It used to have me cry. When I say crying, where he talking about the kids was talking about him at the grocery store about how big he is, and he just kept going on and on about what the kids were saying. That is one of my favorite jokes. He one of the people that keep putting out stand-ups too. That's not bad. They're actually good. But he kept going on about the kid. I can't find it. It is something about kids and him talking about it. It ain't the one I'm talking about. There's one where they talking about him in the grocery store, and it was so funny. I cannot find that clip on YouTube. I've been looking for it. I'm like, I'm gonna see if I'm try to find it again. If I can, I'll put it in here. But it was literally
Bingo. I got action.
I was in the store today. I knew the little boy gonna mess me. I look like a brand new toy. You see my ass just went crazy. And I tried to ignore it and get what the hell I had to get so I could get out of that damn store. Before I could get out of the store, I heard that little voice come right behind me. Excuse me. Excuse me. I said, what? You know you big? Yeah, I know I'm big. I mean, you real big. Okay, I'm real big. I mean, you bigger than anything I've ever seen in my life. You so big, I don't know how you got in that one door, but you squads in here anyway. You so big, I thought it was a crowd of people up here. Then you turn around, that scared the hell out of me. You so big, I couldn't get all of you in my eyes. I had to turn like this, get the rest of you in my eyes. And why you sweating? They got the air conditioner on in here. And why you breathing so hard? You got asthma or something? And where your neck at? I can't even see your neck. I bet you gotta lean back to swallow because you'll choke the hell out of yourself. And why your drawers in your booty? I mean, they in one of your booties. I don't know which one. But they way up in there. And why your shoes leaning like that? Are they tired from carrying all that weight? Oh, you so big. How many stomachs do you have? One for meat, vegetables, and dessert? You smell like you got some bacon in your pockets. Do you got some bacon in your pocket? And why your booty shaking and you standing still? And your drawers still in your booty. Do you got on a thong? If you do,
yes, I'm trying to find the clips and stuff I was talking about because, like I said, I don't know today my brain ain't working or something. I don't feel the best, so I can't really remember, stuff right now. That was hilarious. Like, he just is hilarious. He one of the people that too got a good tone, a good comedic tone. Yeah. He one of the ones too. Yo, they need to bring back, well, maybe they have it, but I'm talking about like for black comedians. I think they have, it was something else. Black comedian was on it, but I don't think it was like centered around black, for black people. But all these older shows, like the one Lil JJ was on, the stand-up competition show, and Bill Bellamy, who's got jokes, like those are really good. Like, it introduced you to a lot of comedians. Like, maybe you probably have seen some of them, from other stuff, and then ones you haven't seen, like there used to be this dude on there, Corey, I think he was Puerto Rican. He used to be so funny to me. Like, I don't know what he's doing now, but he used to be so funny to me. I was like, and the fact that I even remember me, he was like really funny to me. He used to be one of my favorites on there. Yeah, they need to bring back shows like that and do like get some people that's new and upcoming that we haven't really seen like that. I would really like to see that. I don't know who needs to do that, but figure that out, child, and do that, because they used to be just so funny. Yeah, and then they used to, they would put them through stuff like they used to have to do. Then Tommy was on there too. Tommy from Martin was on there, and they used to have to do stuff like, say they pick a word, and then you have to do the whole thing, your whole little 3-minute set around this word. Like, that's how they know you doing it off the cuff. Like,
we got, this is a good topic. Lil Rel's coming back with relationships, y'all, all the way from Chicago.
I remember there was one dude. I can't remember his actual name, but I can just remember his name from one of his jokes where he was like, the teacher called him Sucker Dicky, and I don't know what his actual name is. Maybe I can try to find it. I haven't heard from him since that show. I haven't seen nothing about him, but he was one of the funny ones too. The fact that I even remember that joke, I remember that joke, but I remember when they told him to do a word, he did not pay attention to him telling him to do the word. He was like, look, only time I might be on TV, child, I'm just gonna do my material, child, because it's good material. And it was really funny, but it's like, child, you gotta do what they say. But he said, look, this is the only time I'll be on TV, and I'm getting my material out here, and I ain't mad at the child. But they already be having their favorites, so who's set to win anyway. So it's like, child, what you gonna do? Might as well do your best stuff and get it out there. And he was right to do that, because I don't remember nothing else from him after that. And maybe he do. Maybe he be torn and stuff. I haven't heard him. Like I said, I don't even know his name. I just know his name from the joke, which is actually horrible. Because you tell that joke, and now all the students know you as that, but now the people watching also know you as that. Because I literally cannot think of his action. I just remember that joke. I don't really watch Pete Davidson like that or Trevor Noah, but I know they recently put something out. I might put that on the list to watch. I don't know. I put it on there, but I just ain't clicked on it because I don't know if it's going to be funny, but Pete might be funny, maybe. I don't think Trevor Noah is going to be funny to me. I don't know. He seemed like he got like that PC. I don't know, child. I'm gonna do a separate video where I talk about, like, comedians that put they stand up on just YouTube recently, which have been quite a few. So I might do a separate thing with that. I don't want to include it in here because, like, they're newer comedians, but they're not new. But they not like as big of a name as everybody else I named in the video. James Davis, he had this show that I think he only had one season. I can't remember what it's called right now, but I really liked that show. That was actually a good show. It was on Comedy Central. You can tell it was like in the first season, but you can tell it was only one of them shows that's only gonna get better. It was actually, I actually really like that show. I actually liked his stand up too. I think he's a good meet. I don't know. He haven't got big yet because I feel like he could be commercial. He had a show on Comedy Central. Like he is like commercial. I don't know why you want to see him on more stuff. He double dutches well back and forth between commercial and not commercial, and still be able to be funny, but still able to appease the masses. Oh, TJ Kirkland is one of the people I went to. I just remember that. So I was thinking about Tubi. I was like, what have I watched on Tubi? And he got this set on there that I watched, which obviously went back to Kirkland. He been doing it for how long? He like old, and he been doing it for a while. It's a part in that stand up. It's something on Tubi. I don't know the name. I'm sure he probably got multiple on there, but it's one on Tubi. And he is talking about the dude in the crowd, and it's just not funny to me.
Got erectile dysfunction? Look at me. Do you have erectile dysfunction? Did you take the green pill or the blue pill? Step your game up in there.
How he's talking about the dude. I think he's talking about the dude's teeth, and it's like you just embarrass his man. Like he didn't do it in like a funny, humorous way where you also laugh at it. It just felt like an attack. And that really turned me off.
Married, young man? No, you're not married? I see you got a tooth missing, sir. Now, have you noticed that when you brush your teeth, you got a tooth missing? Right? You don't have a dental plan? 51 years old, right? You're about to die. You ain't got time to be bullshit. You're strong and everything. Get your tooth fixed. That's disrespectful.
It made me feel like Hughley back in the day, how I didn't like him back in the day. That just really, then it was like on his special. You could have took that out. You already embarrassed him in front of the crowd he was in. Then, like I said, he didn't do it in a funny way. It was just very mean to me. I really did not like that. Like, I'm all for being funny and stuff, but it was just rude, and I just was not feeling it at all. No, I did not like that. But I really don't not like when people be talking about people in the audience in a disrespectful way. Yeah, it's cool to joke here and there, but when you actually, like I said, it's not, you're not being funny, you're just kind of like insulting them. It's like actually disrespectful. You actually quite annoying. Like I can get comedians doing crowd work, and people are like, well, if you sit in the front, or yada yada yada. But it's like there is a fine line between actually being funny and actually being disrespectful, embarrassing people.
Are you a squirter? Are you a squirter? No, you look like a squirter.
People come to comedy shows to laugh, not to get made fun of. Like I said, if you do it in a funny way, then cool. But when you just talking about them and it ain't no joke, nowhere in sight, it's like people come to laugh. People want to laugh at comedy shows. People probably, it heals people. People be going through stuff and want to laugh. And then they come to a comedy show and then you talk about them. Then maybe, people want to sit in the front because maybe they can't see. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe they just happen to be the first to get the tickets or whatever. But it's like, people are like, well, you sit in the front, you know what it is. It's like, child, whatever. That really make me mad. Like, I do not like that because you don't know what somebody's going through and you just talking about them a certain way. I really do not like that. And like I said, comedy, yeah, that's fine. But I feel like, yeah, crowd work has always been popular. I feel like it's getting more popular. And it's like, okay to do crowd work, interact with, your people and stuff. But it's like, you need to do it a certain way. Like, you don't just point at somebody and talk about it and roast them. Especially with that, when they haven't done anything. It'd be different if they heckling or something. If somebody heckling, then it's like, oh, well, I don't care. In a disrespectful way, not just them laughing at them. Somebody actually heckling, then you can say whatever. But it's like, somebody come to the comedy show, feel good, and then they leave feeling even worse about themselves than they probably ought to did when they ain't got there. It's just like, I'm really a bigger fan of people just sticking to their actual set. Like I said, yes, of course, I'm cool with crowd work, but like I said, it's the way to do it. Like, interacting with them, asking questions is fine, but it's like, you need to do it somewhere. Like when comedians be like, hey, okay, so, you know, what you do? And then, I know most people probably be lying, but it's like, I just think we need to ask better questions. Like, yeah, there's the basic question, what you do? Where you from? Yeah, blah, blah. It's just like, don't nobody want to talk about work when they, I don't know, comedy show. That's don't turn into something that I just, but that may be bad, child. It's just like, and I feel like when I be watching this stuff, and I be watching the crowd, where you can see the people be uncomfortable, and you can see the people hesitating to answer and not wanting to answer. And it's,
What do you do for a living? Sell cars. How old are you?
It's like, I be feeling bad for them, because it's just like, y'all comedians, y'all need to think of something more compelling to ask and stop asking like that basic stuff. Let's think of something else. I feel like Andrew recently put out a clip where it was a trans woman in her date, but that whole thing, you can tell, I think she was lying too, because she was just saying stuff. Then he asked her again, and she said something else. It's like, girl, is you lying? He said, how long have you been trans for? She said a year. But then he asked again, she said 10 years.
When did you transition? It must have been early. Last year? How long have you been trans? A year? 10 years? Oh, you started early.
Either she wasn't comprehending what she was saying, or she was just lying. I don't know what was going on, but I'm like, and then you look at it and you're like, child, you just making up stuff. At least if you can make up stuff, keep it together, keep a lot together, make it make sense. It was just like, it makes it not entertaining to watch when you just hear so many inconsistencies. It's just like, are you telling the truth, or are you just saying stuff? I don't know, child. Skepticism. I'm just turning into me just being annoyed. I just turned to me now. I'm just mad, child. I'm just annoyed at all this stuff. I'm just end up being annoyed. It's like, child, what else I like that comedians be doing, child? I'm talking about stuff I don't like, child. But yeah, I don't know. Comedians is just work better. I feel like people are like, well, why come to the comedy show if you don't want to be talked about? So, dang, I can't come to the comedy show and laugh if I don't just want to interact. Well, don't sit in the front. Well, I can't see. What if I can't see? Okay? Jeez. Like, I'm about to say, I wouldn't probably go to a Matt Rife show, but I'd probably go to an Andrew show, and it's just like, same thing, child. Same thing gonna happen. But, yeah, some people, child, you don't gotta sit in the front. Even if you second row, third row, they gonna might spot you out. So, what I gotta sit in the back and not be able to see and not have a good viewer experience just because you don't want to be talked about. Like, I don't like when people say that. You don't want to be talked about. Don't sit in the front row. Okay. Maybe this is the best seat, so I can't have the best seat just because I don't want to be talked about. And then, two, there are people that want to be talked about, so as a comedian, it would be hard to gauge. I guess you could ask them, but maybe they'll think that to stop the show, you could ask them, hey, you want to, can I ask you something? Then if they say no, you can move on. But then people are going to probably attack them, like, why did you say no? You don't have to engage. I don't know, child. I don't know the solution, child. Maybe they're the solution. Maybe people don't care. Although it seems like they care, like when you be looking at them, some people. But not her. She seemed like she was enjoying it. The dude looked uncomfortable, but that's probably just his normal look. But, I seen all the really idiots before I seen that clip. And Andrew was like, he described it so perfectly. He was like, he's like a Chris Monroe. And then I saw the video, I said, oh. he described that perfectly because I understand what he was saying. Yeah, he described that perfectly. When he was like, he's like a Christian Road. That's why I had to watch it good, because you know I watched Brilliant Idiots then. I was like, let me see, child, what's going on in this clip. That's on where I click on the clip. I hate when people be like, just because you don't think somebody, you don't like somebody's actual stand-up, that means you don't like them, or that they don't have funny moments or aren't funny in combos or whatever. It's just like everybody has their own form of stand-up that they like, you know. They don't mean anything. Okay, bye.